hear you breathing.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Here's Johnny. He's back. Yep, it's me, JC, in the house. Didn't die. Very fortunate, thank you. I've had COVID, and my friends, the wonderful EV Cafe crew, did naughty things last week. Very, very naughty things, and I can't thank them enough for that. But welcome to the News and Views with the EV Cafe. 30 minutes of what's happening in sustainable transport with expert analysis from the EV Cafe crew. Brought to you this week in partnership with Zaptec, where minimalist design meets innovation. Rather like Sam. Today's opinions on a stick are the aforementioned Sam, the wonderful Sarah Sloman in a library somewhere in Gloucestershire, and Pablo. Are you all well?
Very well, thank you.
Very excited for today.
Why? What's happening, Pablo?
Something.
An announcement.
Is there a cheeky little announcement? Oh, golly gosh. Right, okay, we better crack on then. So, there we are. Let's grab a cuppa. Have you got a cuppa, everybody? Sarah, nodding your head isn't sufficient. We need to see. Right,
I'm
lovely,
messaging
thank
our
you.
lovely listeners. If you think I'm watching you, watching them, talking to me on the chat.
Right, well, let's plug in. Let's get cracking and talk about what's happening in zero emission transport this week. And coming up, we find out what the big asks are for next week's budget from the SMMT. Protector Insurance announces a partnership with the AA. The Tata Group confirms that Somerset, woohoo, will be the home to a new gigafactory. Thank the Lord. Octopus Energy and Aerovolt enable electric plane pilots to tap and charge, and Sam has doubtless got an electric plane. And workplace EV charge points are being installed by even more employers than you would think. First up, though, everything electric, and we're going to be there 28th to the 30th of March. Can't wait. EV Cafe Village. Pablo, what's happening?
Well, as we've done a few times last year, we've got an amazing opportunity to work together alongside the Everything Electric team, the artist formerly known as Yes Fully Charged. And we've got a number of our partners already booked in, and there is just a last chance to get your opportunity to be with us there at the show and talk to a wonderful audience, a real eclectic mix of audience from just individuals all the way up to the sort of mega fleet CEOs, members of government that come to that show, bang in the centre of London. It's going to be a really great event. Live walk-arounds, reviews of vehicles, commercial vehicles, Sonar Live and Kicking, the Everything Electric team there, all talking electric, funnily enough, home advice, everything. I mean, there is so much going on at that event, and so it's really going to be great. We get to play a part, and you get to play a part too, by either coming along and just being there or joining us to exhibit. Fantastic.
And if you want to exhibit, the email address to give a shout to is caroline.kirby@evcafe.org. Let her know you're interested and we'll hook you up. Right then, people, let's get cracking. The UK car industry has pleaded with the Chancellor to help get the transition to electric vehicles back on track. Not keen on that phrase, but anyway, when he delivers his budget next week, accusing the government of creating an own goal, the Society for Motor Manufacturers and Traders said it was clear that the decision to delay the ban on the sale of new cars powered by petrol and diesel till 2035, announced by Rishi Sunak in September last year, has backfired. The SMMT said on Friday that while the UK electric vehicle market remained the second largest in Europe by volume, sales were lagging levels that had been expected before the government's delay. And it reported that private EV uptake was 19% down year on year in 2023 after the end of consumer incentives. It called on Jeremy Hunt to use the budget on the 6th of March to ensure fair taxes for a fairer transition, claiming electric car customers were being unfairly treated. The SMMT suggested a 3-point plan to recharge the market, and top of the wish list was for the 20% rate of VAT on a new electric car to be cut to 10%. The body also demanded that vehicle excise duty was reformed to stop the majority of electric vehicles being classed as an expensive car from next year, when a new supplement is due to be implemented. And finally, there was a call for public charging points to charge VAT at 5% instead of 20%, bringing it in line with home charging costs. It's got to be right, Sam, don't you think? This sort of pressure needs to be put on government to provide the support we need.
Yes, it does, and some of the pressure is their own doing, isn't it? Unfortunately, but yeah, we've all got to be careful as well. You know, with the heavy subsidies that are being proposed here, is all well and good in the short term, but it needs to be tapered and it needs to work such that it's a uniformity for all commodities going forward in the long term, which is, you know, we've done in the past reasonably well in terms of tapering things down from free to valued in terms of the costs associated to electric vehicles. And I'm all for the incentives, but at the same time, it needs to be a tapered one, and it's very distracting watching that cat jump around. It needs to be a tapered one, I guess, is my view, so that we make sure that we don't sort of hoodwink people into this huge discounts for things which then disappear. It needs to be tapered.
Thank you for mentioning the cat, because it means I don't have to. Paul.
Yes.
Well, I was just thinking, I mean, the tapered thing in regard to VAT on public charging, I don't think should be tapered. It should be just levelled, because we've got an issue where we've got a disparity between those that can charge at home and those that can't. That disparity needs to go, because it's an unreasonable and unfair disparity. So we need a level playing field on certain things. So I agree with you, though, Sam. In other areas, we need to incentivise the market to get on board. But once again, you know, taking 10% off of the VAT of vehicles doesn't help the commercial vehicle sector in any way, shape or form, who claim the VAT back. So, you know, we want it across the whole market, and that's why we've gone for a plan for vans with the BEVRLA, Logistics UK, the REA, AFP, and of course ourselves, to get a plan specific for vans. Yeah, it's always welcome that we do get some asks, but commercial vehicles, don't forget them.
No, absolutely, and that came through. Every time I say car now, I think vehicle, and you've got to me. Sarah, has Paul got to you? Do you love a van?
I do love a van, and actually Luca Papalato and I from Paythrough this week have been delving into the SMMT data, because we're trying to really project. It's very hard, actually. There's a lot of different data sources projecting different figures and numbers, but the extrapolation that we've done together shows the trend should be by 2035 we might hit 70%. So if there's 41 million vehicles on the road today, then by 2030 we're hoping that 70% of those will eventually become electric based on today's manufacturing capability. So if anybody out there can help me qualify those, I'll happily share my maths with you. But ultimately, it's taken us 3 days, a lot of reports, and we've taken ZapMap data and SMMT data, and we think that might be the case. So I'm not deterred. I don't think it needs to be such a drama thing at the moment.
Sam, 70% of the park or 70% of the new sales?
New sales.
Well, yeah, 70% is mandated by 2030 in the ZEV mandate. And
no, it's a figure. I'll get you the figure.
Of cars. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
thank you for clarifying that. But no, it's really interesting because, there's so many different data sources. And Ash Bannister, thank you for sending through what you did. And I've had other people send me other things. And there's still a little bit of disparity. So in order for us to plan for the infrastructure required for all of these vehicles hitting the road, we need a lot more clarity. And I'm hoping the plan for vans will help. We also had the Association Fleet Professionals committee meeting this week, and I'm on the EV one and the leadership one, and we're trying to find a better way of using the data that exists to help us plan for the infrastructure, not just the vehicles. I'm not put off by this sort of kickback.
Good. Excellent. Thank you for that. All three. Now then, we have a proud announcement. Woohoo! As Paul alluded to right at the beginning, we've got a new sponsor, and it's an important one because it's a vehicle sponsor, and I'm just going to give you a quick pronunciation lesson. We used to call them Iveco when I was a boy, but now they're Iveco. Iveco. Run VT.
Paul, it's night time. Mate, listen, logistics is a 24-hour business and vans are the lifeblood of our country.
That may well be true, my friend. But where are we?
We're with Iveco, and Iveco are a new gold sponsor. Let's go talk to them.
Come on. I have Lisa Fuller here. She's the head of brand marketing for Iveco. Lisa, you've just signed a new partnership with the EV Café. What do you hope that will do for you?
John, thanks very much. Yeah, well, it's a great opportunity for us to be working with the EV Café, an organisation that is known for its promotion of electric vehicles and everything associated with electric vehicles. Is fantastic for us. As an organisation, we see ourselves as a challenger brand. We are innovators, and innovation is at the heart of everything we do, alongside being green and working towards our net zero goals. We're looking forward to working with you and having access to all the lovely people that you speak to, being able to work with you wonderful guys, and generally hoping to enhance our business. We've got a great range, not just the electric van range, but we have a range of vans and trucks from 3.5 tonnes all the way up to 44 tonnes, and not only electric, but we're working on hydrogen fuel cell, and we also have vehicles that operate on biomethane. So loads of opportunities there for us, and yeah, we're looking forward very much to working with you.
Brilliant. Speaking of methane, here's Paul.
Thanks, JC. Anyway, I'm lucky enough to have Mike Cutts, Business Line Director for Iveco. Mike, what is Iveco's mission with the eDaily?
Hi Paul. Well, ultimately what we're looking to do is to help customers on the journey towards electrification, but we understand that our customers need to operate specific missions in order to do their daily job. So what we're trying to do with eDaily is to allow them to transition without a compromise. So what we're looking to do is offer all the same functionality that a diesel daily would do, but with an electric powertrain. So all of those characteristics that you would get: payload, towing, onboard power, flexibility of conversion, is all available with the eDaily range.
Fantastic, and I'm lucky enough to have experienced the vehicle firsthand. What has been feedback from customers so far?
I think ultimately, as I said, what they're looking to do is be able to transfer their current daily operation into electrification without a compromise. So for them, what's really important is the capability to tow up to 3.5 tonnes, which is unique with the eDaily product. The ability to have the flexibility of choosing different vehicles for different missions, which is where we have the modularity of up to 4 batteries now to choose from customers, all the way up to the 7.2 tonne daily, like the vehicle behind you, where customers can maximise payload of around about 3.2 tonnes.
Fantastic. The Iveco eDaily is really going to make a difference in the marketplace. JC, this is so exciting, a van manufacturer as a partner sponsor with the EV Cafe.
I know, I've converted to vans, I'm telling you that. Yes. You can get tipper bodies, box bodies, you can get a minibus, pretty much anything you can get in diesel, you can get in electric.
Brilliant.
I'm taking it for a spin, bye.
Go for it.
Tell ya, that was as much fun as it looked. Seriously, brilliant fun at Iveco that day, Paul. Vans really are something that once it gets inside you, you kind of go, wow, yeah, these are great fun.
Do you know what? I think you summed it up beautifully at the end. The variety from a van perspective or a commercial vehicle perspective is amazing. I mean, I was at an event this week where I saw a load of cargo bikes. I mean, all kinds of different cargo bikes. And they are making a massive difference. We're seeing small vans, medium vans, large vans, converted vans, vans that you can take power off, vans that you can put stuff in, you can lift things up with, you can tow things, you can go anywhere. Commercial vehicles are just smashing it out of the park, and also with trucks as well, really coming on stream and seeing some great stuff. So the Iveco brand kind of bringing both the vans and the truck world kind of together, going all the way up to 7.2 tonne and allowing customers to tow, to carry anything up to 3 tonnes and tow 3.5 tonnes on a commercial vehicle. It is a big step forward. Iveco, a great partner, and I'm of course very excited to have a van as a key sponsor.
And what's really important, of course, is not only is it a van, but it's a Guinness World Record holder. Do we know anything about that in the house? Oh! It is brilliant though, Sam, isn't it, to have vans represented not only in your skills and your expertise, but as an OEM, really key for us.
I'm sorry, all I heard was Guinness World Record. I couldn't concentrate on anything else.
Let's move on.
No, no, you're right. You're right. I actually was thinking while I was watching the video that how things have moved on. You know, it's fantastic to see it. Having been in the van game for 2 decades, it's just amazing to see such variety, such large vehicles with huge capacity, massive payload, massive torque, massive towing capability. That was a pipe dream 20 years ago, and now it's just becoming standard. And I love the fact it's just becoming normal. It's just normal, and that's exactly what we need to happen.
Quite right. Now then, we've got the shout-outs to do. And I've just had a thought. I always do the shout-outs, except last week when clearly I couldn't. Did the shout-out... Yeah, well, there we are. What I'm wondering is, who would you like to do the weekly shout-outs? Let us know in the comments if you've got a preference for one of the readers.
What?
And possibly it might
That
be
is
Sam.
shameless.
It would be hilarious if it's Sam. Please vote Sam.
Oh.
Vote Sam to do the shout outs. But in the meantime, can I say a very good morning to Gary Comerford from EV Musings. White rabbits, my friend. White rabbits to you all from a windy northeast Hampshire. You and Paul have got something in common. Can I just ask a question? And that is, does everybody say white rabbits on the 1st? Or are there other things? Paul, anything local for you?
Well, isn't it? It's St David's Day, so don't you say Yakida or something like that?
Let's have
and
some
give
of that.
somebody a daffodil.
Sarah, do you say anything for first of the
pinch
month?
punch. You got to do pinch
Yeah.
punch once a month, and then
With
it's
that,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
flick and a kick for being so quick. If someone gets you back.
So violent in the West Country. And Sam?
I just say good morning like every other day.
Oh,
To the
you're
butler.
It's because you're boring.
boring.
Good morning, sir.
Because I don't know what
good
week it is. That's
morning.
why.
Right, let's get on with this. Gary Comerford, morning. Ashley Bannister, hello, my friend. Alan Wright, good to see you from Ground Transport. Sarah Sloman, get off. Colin Hennessy, Karen Mull from Europe Car. Kirsty Robinson, David Cornish, Sharon Guy from Formula Space, Thomas Edwards, Lloyd Allen. Lloyd, thank you for your message this week. Really appreciate it. Jonathan Kempsell, Marv, the marvellous Marvin Samuels. Teresa Swift, also from Formula Space. Goodness, anybody doing any work down there? Daryl Sharp, hello. Jim Blair, Arnold Clark. My son's looking at a new car. You can't serve him. I'm telling you, seriously. He's got more cars than he knows what to do with. Sarah Clark, hello. Michael Barton from Bristol. Oh, it's not so sunny. I hope you're just referring to the weather, Michael. If not, be in touch. Caroline Kirby, whoever she is. Rachel Lewis. Jamie Fretwell. Now, Jamie, it's lovely to have you here from Mercedes-Benz Trucks. I hope all is well with you, my friend. I know you've been busy. Hugh Maguire, hello, geezer. Dan Martin, Richard Parker. Oh, Nosy's in the house. Sarah Kennel, haven't seen you for a while. Please, can we talk about the cat? Certainly not. Ron Godfrey, hello, Ron. Good morning. Toby Hiles, Daryl Sharp. Who else we got here? Lots of Sarah. Goodness, you've been busy. Your fingers have not stopped moving. Okay, I think Dan Martin, hello. I think we're about there. Yeah, right, let's move on. Okay, corporate general insurance provider Protector Insurance has selected AA Business Services as its accident management supplier. This new partnership between the UK's leading provider of driver services and the fast-growing Scandinavian challenger brand will deliver a cost certainty for the Protector business, as well as improved service levels, continued innovation and reduced downtime for policyholders. Protector Insurance offers general insurance to commercial and public sector clients. As a challenger in the insurance market, the business priorities cost management, a selective distribution strategy, and best-in-class decision-making, second only to the EV Café. Julie Kenny, Deputy Head of Claims Protector Insurance UK, said, not only does the AA have the EV capability we're looking for today, it's at the forefront of automotive evolution. So we're confident it will be the best partner for tomorrow. And we absolutely agree with Julie, don't we, Sarah?
We do, and actually, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I don't think we'd be where we are today without huge, well-trusted, well-known institutions like the AA getting behind this electric vehicle mission. Because having somebody like Edmund King being able to talk about it, and then people feeling like it's a normal thought process to go EV, you're just seeing it dripping through. And I think that only comes from an institution that's been around a long time.
Quite right. Now, Alec Thompson says, I'm with Sam. Not quite sure what that means.
Oh, it's the good
Sam,
morning. It means not saying white rabbits. It's just saying good morning. Boring.
I see. Toby Hiles has said that Sam did very well last week saying funner, which I know he loves. And it's great to see Claire Nickel in the house from Compleo. Thank you for joining us, Claire. A bit late. Where's the note? Right, let's crack on because we're running out of time here because I'm wittering a lot because I've got words left from last week that I couldn't use. Agratas, Tata Group's global battery business, has confirmed that it will build a new multi-billion-pound electric vehicle battery manufacturing facility in Somerset. The Gigafactory will be built on the Gravity Smart campus near Bridgewater, Somerset. A significant landholding has been acquired at Gravity, making Agratas the first and primary occupier on the site. A 40 gigawatt hour factory is set to be the biggest battery factory in the country, and by early 2030 will contribute almost half of its projected battery manufacturing capacity that is required for the UK automotive sector. And I'll read that again. It will contribute almost half of all the batteries we need in the UK for the automotive sector and create 4,000 jobs. Sarah, that's just magnificent news for your part of the world. What do you reckon?
I couldn't be happier about it. That site has been up and down in the news for the last 3-4 years about speculative tenants, I suppose, including Rivian, which never happened. But I think this is a much better solution for it. And one of the reasons it was so popular and fought over was because obviously we know about the skills gap. There's a huge abundance of people that live in Somerset, not to mention the transport networks to get up to the port, to be exporting from the UK and importing the things that we need. The M5 goes straight past the site and it's expansive. I want to go and see it somehow. Perhaps we can do an EV Cafe live news update from there one day.
And I hope that some of the batteries are going to find their way into commercial vehicles, both vans and lorries, Sam. It's going to be quite key, isn't it, for our whole industry?
Yeah, it is. And that half of projected battery manufacturing is great. I hope it isn't, in a way, because I hope there's other companies that come along and also produce more battery factories as a stimulus from this news. But yeah, we've had some bad news stories over the last few years with battery manufacturing in the UK. So yeah, let's hope this one is one that comes to fruition, and I think it feels like it's going to. So fingers crossed.
Claire Nichols' excuse apparently for being late was that she has a new puppy and has offered photographs. And Karen Moore from Europe Car has said, yes, please. Where do we send these pictures? I think we might need a new WhatsApp group. But anyway, Paul, are you delighted to see a battery production facility like that in the UK?
Yeah, I think it future-proofs the market as well to some degree. I mean, I'm not like really close to all the detail around legislation around origin rules and things like that. But I think if we can create the stuff in our own country, that it will protect prices for the future and give a lot of jobs, build the close the skills gap, and really push on with the sector. I think there is a lot of potential innovation in the UK. Having spoken to many of the startups and the tech companies that are really pushing the envelope, it would be great to see that tech and that knowledge land in the UK and make a difference.
Ron Godfrey, helpfully with pronunciation lessons as we're having today, says in a West Country accent, it's battery factory. Is that right?
Battery factory, that is.
Have I got that right? Battery factory?
The posh ones won't know how to talk like that. It'll only be me who was born in Somerset and know how to talk it, innit?
And were you born in Box?
I wasn't born. I was born in Bristol and lived in Box, which is just outside Bath. But it was actually just over into the Wiltshire border, but I was born in Somerset.
There we are. Lad. See, it's all good news. All Somerset. So you're Somerset, Paul. Sarah? Gloucestershire?
No, Wiltshire from the age of 3.
And Sam,
where were you born, love?
In Essex.
No! That's why you didn't admit it.
Well, it's really unfair. We were living
from Essex, of course.
No, exactly. There's no offence to take, but we weren't actually living there. We just ended up being born on the wrong side of the border. So I mean, it's just comedy.
Or possibly the right side of the border. And Sam, which royal palace were you born in?
You can probably tell by my posh public school accent that I was born in Gloucester.
Let's get on with the news.
Good effort.
Sam, this one's all about you, so I'm just coming to you for this story. Octopus Energy has announced a partnership with Aerovolt, the first ever aircraft charging network, enabling pilots of electric planes to charge their aircraft with just one tap of their Octopus Electroverse card. That's outstanding. Surely that's got to be a good thing. Can we see that markets are going to diversify like this and that we're going to get electric charging? This is almost mobility as a service for you.
Yeah, I didn't really view it quite the same way as you did, John. Yeah, my dad was a private pilot for 30 years, so I've done a fair few hours and I can say that and there's nothing standard about flying, and I don't think it's my concern here is wider. I love Octopus. I think it's a great company, but the marketing team must have had a few quiet days lately because they seem to like to advertise things that don't really apply to most of the general public, whether that be plug and charge facilities no one can use, V2G that no one can use, or aeroplanes that no one's going to fly. Now, that's all really good innovation, but the implication is, oh, look, we've got this wonderful new service that no one can use. So I just love to sort of just level that a bit, because I'm a little bit worried there's a bit of greenwash coming through here. But nevertheless, it's great innovation, it's great technology, it's all good stuff. But at the same time, a tap and pay for a plane is of no use to anybody. Nice story, but what's it going to do?
I'd love to know how many private pilots there are in the UK. I'd love to know how many people like to fly for fun on airfields, private airfields all over the country. They do it every weekend. They do gliding, they do flying, they do single jets, they do all kinds of stuff. Why should they be ignored?
They're not being ignored, but you don't need... No, I'm not
they're
saying
not being ignored.
You don't need a tap and go roaming card to fly a plane.
Can I suggest that actually we reach out to Octopus, and rather than just all sitting and pontificating, we go and see it. Let's do it, because it's real. It's there. It's alive and kicking. Let's do it. And Marvin Samuels says, Sam Clark, you are so like my wife.
So like my wife. The hair helps.
Anyway, move on. Almost half of UK employers have already installed electric vehicle chargers, while a third are planning to invest in charging infrastructure over the next 12 months. The study by Drax Electric Vehicles also revealed that the overwhelming majority, 91%, with workplace charging, plan to expand their infrastructure over the next 5 years. Sarah, we've been banging on about this for over a decade. It's fabulous to see the numbers coming through, isn't it? We talked about it, then it was created, and now it's expanding and growing and developing fabulously quickly.
Yeah, go nuts. If you've got the energy on site, you've got the space, and you've got the opportunity to make extra revenue in the sort of time that the staff aren't using the car park, then all the better, because that helps the many swathes of people that can't charge at home at night time if we are due to have commercial vehicles. However, they are being a little bit stung by the new legislation. This is something we were debating at the AFP this week, does that mean that they are then liable to all the same public charging regulations because they're opening up their site to the public out of hours? And the answer is, unfortunately, probably yes. And I said probably loosely there because we have clipped the bit that I have promised to get back to Lorna McAteer about, because there's so many amazing innovations that mean it's super easy to book charging and, as I say, share charging when they're not being used. An empty office car park at night time, completely empty but well lit and beautifully accessible, and modern technology and a helpline and everything. That seems like a really great picture, and I just hope government legislation doesn't stand in our way.
Let's pick up on a few of the comments, because they're really, really interesting and kind of capture the Sam and Paul disparity of views. You've got some saying, where are all the electric planes? Christian Borman, as an example. And Alice Hodges at the other end says, that's how people talked about EVs a long time ago.
And EHGV. I was going to say the same, Alice. If you think about how sceptical we were about EHGV 5 or 6 years ago, I think what we've kind of missed here is this technology, the tap and go, already existed. It's not like this, I think this is a strange news story, really. It's just about having the best of the best of the best available for the right to use private planes. But I do agree, it's all about Guy at the moment. We're getting him on the EV Café podcast. We'll put these questions to him.
And Daryl Sharp, very, very helpful. There are 28,000 private pilot license holders and 10,000 certified glider Why can't I speak today? Sorry, I've got brain fog from COVID. I really genuinely am struggling with this. There are 28,000 private pilot licence holders and 10,000 certified glider pilots. Some of the 19,000 pilots who hold professional licences are also engaged in GA activities. Not sure what a GA activity is. Put it in the comments for us.
Is it general aviation? General aviation? I'm not sure.
Could be.
Could be. Okay, somebody will tell us. Ursula Perry's just crept in. Where have you been, 1029? Seriously. Rude. What's your name? Sam Clark? Lee Sibley. He's even later.
Sibley's just...
From Zev Hub. Bless you for joining, my friend. Listen, we're going to wrap this up now. Thank you so much to Paul, to Sam, to Sarah for this week, but also for last week, and for all of the messages I got whilst I was a bit crook. Bless you all. If you've got any clean transport PR or news stories you'd like us to cover, then please send them to us at hello@evcafe.org. An argument is guaranteed. Until next Friday, it's goodbye from me and it's goodbye from them. This has been an EV Cafe production brought to you this week in partnership with Zaptec, where minimalist design meets innovation. Other sustainability news services are available, but this is just funner.
I always forget the arms. Sorry.
Got to do the arms. The EV Cafe is truly blessed to be partnered with the AA, Webfleet, Europcar, Plug Me In, Paythrough, Zaptic, Iveco, Spiri, Hydrock, Interval, All-Star, Dynamon, and McIntyre Hudson. We are the EV Cafe, supporting the transition to zero-emission transport. Enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend, wherever it takes you. I'm off for a lie down in a dark room and to catch my breath. Until next Friday, thank you so much. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.
I did think
Spiky.
that plane conversation was going to take off.